Hello everyone and welcome back to PlumFiggy Plans. This is Tammy. So today I'm going to be working on my April bullet journal setup in my Archer and Olive A5 doc grid notebook. Just trying to find my page. I guess looking back through some of what I've done so far this year. If any of you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you like what you see and want to stick around. If you do, please like and subscribe. I'd love to get any kind of comments or questions or anything that's on your mind. Please let me know. For those of you who are brand new, this is my first ever bullet journal, so I'm brand new to doing this and I'm kind of learning as I go. Also, I am traditionally a junk journaler. I come from the junk journal world. I have another channel on YouTube called PlumFiggy, which is where you would find all of my junk journal content. So I do naturally kind of bring that aspect into my bullet journaling. I would say that I'm definitely not a traditional bullet journaler. I'm more of the decorative style, and I don't do the traditional bullet journal like I don't do everything that's traditionally bullet journals. So when I create my tasks and lists and things, I don't follow the traditional bullet journaling annotations on when I complete a task and if I move a task to the next week or what have you. I'm so not talking about my setup right now, but anyway, just FYI, so if that helps to help you decide if you want to stick around and watch, that's a little bit more background on where I'm at. I'm finding that this bullet journal is kind of really becoming my daily quick hit, what happened that day type of journal. And then I'm also using it for some longer form journaling as well, kind of as you saw in the quick flip through there, where I'm kind of documenting trips or just really anything in my life that I want to document in between my weekly spreads and monthly setup. So anyway, back to what we're looking at now. I decided since April is my birth month, and I'm really ready for spring, that I would do happy flowers. I would do floral for my decorations for my April setup. And so, of course, as I said, I'm a junk journaler at heart, so I like to do the collaging and, all that kind of stuff. This here is just a paper doily. It's craft paper, and it was a bit thick. It was kind of, I would even say scrapbook paper thick, but even thicker than that. So sometimes if you can, what I have learned in the past is you're usually able to separate those types of papers into two, or at least take the back. Like for this one, I could separate them into two, thankfully. So then now I'm doubling my stash of those. Or if it's not double-sided like these are, you could remove some of the layers of paper from, like, let's say a thicker from the old scrapbooking days, right? So it's just a little trick to keep from getting too much bulk in a junk journal, or especially in these bullet journals, because you don't really have as much room to play with there. But yeah, so I had two sticker books from Happy Planner, and I actually have a lot of sticker books from Happy Planner in my stash, and typically use them every month on some kind of planner situation that I'm doing. I have yet to film my Techo Kaigi for 2025. I will do that. I just got to get around to doing it, so I can explain kind of what my system is and what I'm doing beyond just this bullet journal, which if you've been watching my videos on this channel, thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, so you've basically just seen this one aspect of my planning system, but I do more than just this, but haven't taken the time to film that yet, so hopefully soon. But yeah, so I'm using some stamping to stamp out April on some Amazon packing paper, which also is thin, so nice to use that if you have it. It's a really great, I hope they never change. I hope they never change their packing paper situation, because it's very helpful for us crafters to use in various different ways. But yep, just stamping April out on some of that. And I'm going to go ahead and do all my stamping most of my stamping off camera, so that you don't have to sit and watch me suffer through that. It's not my favorite thing to do. I'm learning to like it more, to be honest. I really prefer to do the decorating of it. But yeah, so I'll be incorporating this throughout on the craft paper, and then the florals. And so just doing a little bit of a collage here, and trying to decide what else I want to put on this page. I have these also very thin. They're just paper, like thin paper, I think from AliExpress, of some just collage papers, background things to add some interest and some text and what have you. And then I was realizing that I had trimmed down my April piece of paper there just a little bit too small, so decided to pull out some tea-dyed papers, scraps that I've got handy, and filled in some of that space with that. So over on the left side, I decided to go ahead and use that page for a quote sticker that was in the bigger Happy Planner sticker book. I haven't been doing that this year, even though I thought I wanted to do it, and that is to have a quote for each of the months. I guess I just hadn't gotten around to doing that, and for whatever reason, but this month I did. So I'm just putting the background together for that. I just random kind of larger pieces of that packing paper glued down, and then I'll do some more collaging here with some more of that neutral other filler papers in some different shades of creams and browns and neutral shades. Okay, so just putting down that quote. Happy Planner has always got so many great quotes in their sticker books. Sometimes it can be a bit much, to be honest, for me, but there's usually a good one in there that kind of sums it up for you, right? Beyond that, I just added another little floral flower and some leaves, and that did it for my entry page, or my intro page. So now I'm working on my calendar spread. I went ahead and just drew out the grid lines off camera, and now I'm just erasing some of the pencil lines that you can still see. So I got these highlighters. They're so cool, guys. They're glitter highlighters. I got them off of AliExpress. I think I've probably also seen them elsewhere on other shopping sites similar to that. They've got great colors. They're really muted looking. I'm sure you can probably find them on Amazon too. And then there's just a slight hint of glitter sheen to them. I mean, you really have to look for it. It's usually if it kind of pools up, like if you let the highlighter sit for a second longer or go over it more than one time in the same place, you'll see it. But yeah, really suggest those. I got the green set, I got the purple blue set, and the pink set. So really enjoying those. And so I'm going to be using them throughout my setup for April. And so there, you just saw my current frustration with the stamping. I'm trying to learn to have a lighter hand so that I don't get smudges everywhere. It's a learning process, yes. This ink pad also is just super juicy. It's really prone to doing that. Yeah, and unfortunately I'm gonna have to fix that one later. I'll just use a white acrylic gel pen to kind of knock that back. And with all the other pretties on the page, you won't even notice it in the end. But of course, it's really glaring right now. I can really see it. It won't go away. But yeah, I'm using that same little stamp set to stamp out my days of the week. And I like my monthly view calendar to start with Sunday and end with Saturday. It's just kind of how I grew up looking at a calendar. And then for my weekly view, I like to start with Monday and then have Saturday and Sunday at the end. That's just kind of how I always had planners growing up and calendars. So that's kind of just how I've learned, and that's how my brain works. So that's how I'm doing it now. And then I decided not to stamp out the numbers this month, and just use some number stickers to fill in the numbers for the calendar. So now I'm going to, I think, stamp out the word April again for the month. And normally I would have also put 2025, but I didn't do that for this month on anything. I mean, we already know it's 2025, so it's all good. I don't need to repeat that and take the space and the time to show it on every spread for this month. So yeah, as you can see, I'm doing this thing where I'm using my little pliers, my tweezers, to take the stamp on and off the stamping block, and that's really helped keep my fingers clean. That was becoming a problem too. I was getting ink all over my fingers, which then was going onto my page in my bullet journal and just was becoming a mess. So that's really helped too. And unfortunately, I'm so sorry, my camera ran out of memory and shut off unknowingly to me. And so there you got a quick view of the final spread for my calendar page. I'll add pictures at the very end of all of these spreads so you can get a better view of it later in the video. Okay, so moving on to the next spread, which is my mood tracker. This one, I'll be honest, I was having a hard time with. One of the main reasons I wanted to start a bullet journal was to kind of get myself to do more drawing, more doodling. That is something my entire life I can do it, but it's not like a go-to for me, and I just want to be better at it. That and hand lettering, that's something, those two things are things that I have not really practiced much in my life, and I kind of wish I was better at both of them. So I kind of figured maybe doing bullet journaling would get me into that thought process a little bit more often. I guess instead lately I've just been choosing to use the stamping and stickers. But the hope is there. The hope is there that I will start doing that. So, to be honest with you, I did do a bunch of Googling to look at, simple flowers to draw and doodle, and I definitely could have done that. I kind of ran into a situation, though, where I was running out of time. The last 2 months, I got this all set up after the month had already started, and especially February, I really didn't use my bullet journal hardly at all. Like, hardly anything got filled in. And so I tried to not let that happen for March, and I got it done earlier in March, but it was still a week into March. And so I did have to back plan just a little bit, which I don't really enjoy doing. Anyway, long story short, I really wanted to set myself this goal of not waiting until the month was started before I got my entire bullet journal set up done. So long story short, I just decided to go ahead and use some stamps, some flower stamps, and so I've got 2 different stamp sets here, and decided that I will just color in a flower for every day of the month. So I've got some bigger ones, some medium ones, some small ones, and so I'm just gonna stamp these all out, and then really, really small next to each one, add a number for the day of the month next to them, and then still, honestly, as I'm recording this voiceover, I still haven't decided if I want to use colored pencils or markers or what I want to do. I even thought about watercolor, but then I was like, well, would I want to pull that out every single day? I don't know. So I'm still trying to decide what I want to use for my coloring in of each of these flowers every day. But you'll get to see the spread without the colors. Hopefully by time I get all the video done and the extra pictures taken of each spread, I'll have decided what I wanted to do, and you'll see that at the end as well. So I guess two things that I'm kind of foreshadowing here for you. Hopefully you'll stick around and watch the whole video, because that really helps YouTube know that you like what you're watching, and then they'll start suggesting me to more people, and I can show up to more people out there in the planner world. Just kind of filling in. I had to stop a few times to count how many flowers I had and how many more I'd need, and I didn't want to do too many extras, all while trying not to accidentally smudge my ink on the page, which I think I did a pretty good job. Here I was counting again. It's like, okay, I need some more. What am I gonna do? Yeah, so, counting. And then at the bottom right, I did leave some room for my color coding for each of my moods for each day, and then I think I added a sticker down there too, or no, I didn't. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do birds for this mood tracker, bird stamps or flower stamps. In the end, I'm glad I chose the flowers, because I don't think I definitely couldn't have fit all the birds on this one spread. I would have had to use multiple, which is fine. I don't mind doing that, but I did add one bird stamp at the bottom, because why not? He's cute, or she. The bird is cute. So there's the mood tracker spread. Okay, and now moving on to my next tracker, which is going to be my sleep tracker, and then I have two kind of health trackers that I've been doing, which, to be honest with you, I recently was watching a Mark Your Pages video, or maybe it was him with Joshi Corinne talking about in their planner podcast. I can't remember, but he did it was in one of their videos. He mentioned to her that he was filling out these trackers, but what was he even doing with them? Was it doing anything to change a behavior? And it got me thinking, oh, okay, well, I've been doing that for the last 3 months and going into 4 months now. And has it really helped me change anything, or have I changed anything based on what I've been seeing and tracking with my sleep and my health? My health being breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which are the 3 columns on the right side. Did I eat healthy for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? And then the 1 column is just, did I exercise that day? So, and the exercise would be like additional exercise beyond the normal everyday kind of thing. Like, I try to get out away from my desk at work a couple times a day and just do a little quick walk or what have you. That wouldn't be included in this. This would be something beyond that. Surely there is a correlation to whether you get enough sleep. Does that then affect your eating habit for the next day and your exercise habits for that day? Sure. But have I been really paying attention to that based on this? Not really. I don't know. I do a lot of analytics for my job, and so coming home and doing that some more is not necessarily on the top of my priority list. But my health definitely is on the top of my priority list, or it should be, right? And so I also know that I need some more data to kind of come up with a conclusion. And so I don't know. For right now, I'm going to continue doing this. I've not found it to be overly cumbersome. I'm not one of those tracker kind of people, honestly. It's not something that I've ever really enjoyed doing or seeked out to do. That, I know that's not the right way to say that, but it's not something I would seek out to do in my daily life before starting the bullet journal. But so I guess I'm just trying it now, and we'll see how it goes. It may not appear in further months later in the year. We'll see. But yeah, and there you just saw my cat Oliver trying to see what I was working on there and creating shadows and generally being a nuisance that he is, a cute little nuisance. But so I had a whole lot of extra room on this page, and another goal of mine was to kind of use up as many of these stickers as I can, because I have too many sticker books. I will probably never be able to use all the stickers that I own, and why have all these really pretty stickers if you're not going to use them? So I'm trying to use the stickers as much as I possibly can, and sometimes those bigger stickers are a little bit more difficult to find a place for. So I chose that bigger one on the right and had already put down my collaging background because I kind of assumed that I would choose a sticker on white paper for the bottom, but there just really wasn't one that I was gravitating towards, and so I chose that clear see-through sticker. And in retrospect, I kind of wish I wouldn't have chosen that one, but it's down now and it is what it is. And it's a pretty sticker. It's fine. But yeah, probably wished I wouldn't have done that. I wish I had a better one to choose from. So that's okay though. And then there's this other smaller sticker book that I have also from Happy Planner. And I thought it would be really fun to kind of layer on some of these gold foil stickers over the other stickers that I was using. And so that's kind of what I'm doing there. Trying to fix that, I'm not going to call it a mistake, but small regret that I did with that one sticker, and it didn't really help too much, I don't think. It just made it more busy, but that's okay. Not everything always has to be perfect, and I guess I am a perfectionist, but the rest of it all looks really good, so I'm really pleased with how it is, and at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. So like I said, I do like that sticker on the bottom. It is a peony. That is my favorite flower. I just wish you could see it a little bit better is all I suppose I would be my takeaway on that. Okay, so moving on to my first weekly spread, and I think I've got 4 weekly spreads for this month, and then we'll have the monthly review after that. I decided not to be so rigid with my daily squares or blocks or however I want to put that together this month, and so I decided to start with my decoration first, and then I would layer on afterwards in that remaining white space for each of my days. And I am totally okay with not having the same amount of room for each day of the week. I fill in with whatever space that I have, and then if I need more space for writing, I will just then flip to a blank page either before or after the month, wherever I have blank pages left over, and do some more writing there if I need to do some more writing. So these weekly spreads, I'm kind of now deciding that I don't need to put my weekly to-do list here or like appointments and things like that, because that's what I'm using my Hobonichi weeks for. And I do decorate that too, but I decorate it every day throughout the week, and I don't decorate it before the month really starts. So that is something I'm still trying to decide if I want to film a setup of. Like I say, it's more organic and it's more personal too. Actually, it's like personal details that I'm not sure that I really want put out onto the interwebs. But yeah, so TBD on that, on a different kind of a video from me. Okay, so here is another sticker book. This one happens to be from Hobby Lobby, and it's their brand sticker book, and it's literally just days of the week and months. So I just chose this black cursive font for my days of the week, and I'll use that for each of my weekly spreads, and then another set of these number stickers that I use for the calendar, I'll use to fill out the rest of my weekly spreads. So yeah, so I got started with the big floral sticker, filled in my days of the week, and now I'm going to go back and keep filling in wherever I feel like I can. Fortunately, I left kind of a lot of space for this other sticker to kind of match on the right side to kind of bring it together. I really love how these turned out. I love the organicness of it. They're so pretty, these stickers. They're watercolor flowers. I mean, who doesn't love a good watercolor floral, right? And so then decided to go ahead and layer in again with these gold foil stickers too, because where else am I going to use those? I just don't know. But yeah, so it's pretty simple, a lot faster too, to not plan out every little line and spacing and everything. I'm not so worried about that. So I'll probably be doing this more often in this way going forward. It made me happy to not be spending so much time drawing perfect squares that match each other and using rulers and, all that jazz that I don't love. So, as you can see, I've already, like I said, stamped out my April on that packing paper, and continuing to just use those same background collaging papers to create my collages with, and putting my April piece down as well. And it'll be the same kind of situation for the rest of these weekly spreads, kind of starting with my April, and I'm trying to move that around into different places for each week, so that they're not always let's say in the upper right corner or the upper left corner. That's one great thing about using a bullet journal, is you get to decide where you want and how you want your layout to be each week. And you don't have to have it the same way every week, like a traditional planner that's pre-printed would be. So yeah, really loving that idea as well. Decided to go ahead and bring another one of these paper doilies back into this spread, and very carefully gluing that down. I realized I probably didn't need to glue all the edges, and it would have been fine, but OCD, I guess. And Oliver's come back to monitor the situation, make sure I'm doing a good job. I'm trying to keep him from bumping the camera. He tends to do that, so sorry if the camera shakes. And yeah, so kind of continuing that same idea with collage papers first, and then putting the florals down on top. Okay, so on to the last weekly spread for the month of April. I just randomly decided to go straight down the middle with my collaging, and I would figure it out from there. That is another thing that I've kind of learned from the junk journaling. Collaging is just start gluing your paper down, and figuring it out from there is really fun. It's challenging. It makes it, whoops, that moved on me. It makes you kind of problem solve more, which I find fun. So maybe not everyone would. And you see, sometimes I make a mistake and it's fine. It all works out in the end usually. And if it doesn't, like I say on my other channel, it's just paper. It's not the end of the world. You can cover it up. Or if you really, really hate it, glue the pages together and start over. It's a bullet journal, right? So you've got plenty of room to do what you need to do. So from what I had left over in the spring color, so this sticker book is florals for every season of the year. And so, of course, there's spring, summer, fall, and winter. And so I'm trying to pull from the spring floral pages. And so these were kind of the ones that were left. And right now, I'm realizing I should not have stuck that down already. I did not like how that looked. Thankfully, I was able to pull it back up and reposition it onto the right side. And even then, I was still like, I'm not so sure about this. It's not quite what I wanted, but it is what it is. So we'll continue from here, and hopefully we can make it work. So that's kind of what I'm doing. These were a little more difficult to work with just because they were kind of standalone pieces and not in a grouping already, which the other ones were already in a grouping. So it was easier just to put them together. And again, I'm realizing I should not have stuck that down fully already. And so I'm having to pull it up again. It's getting a little more difficult every time. But thankfully I was able to do it. Just trying to layer these a little bit so that they look like they belong together, right? And also I'm just trying to use up as much as I possibly can from the sticker sheet so I don't have extras left over. And actually, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It did take up a little bit more room than I probably wanted it to, but I'll just do a little bit less writing in this week and it'll all be fine. So again, just kind of doing my organic daily headers, and I'll finish those out with the little daily stickers in the month. Oh, yes, of course, I have to add some of these gold foil stickers as well. As you can see, I'm trying to use up on these pages that I've already pulled out from the sticker book as much as I can. So, yep, pulling that up again too. Okay, so now it's time for my last spread of the month, and that is going to be my April review. This is something, again, that I don't traditionally tend to do. Way back in the day when I used to use Happy Planner, they would have these pages every month as like their dashboard, either at the end or the beginning of the month, and I never did fill those in. I never did take the time to do it. It's not ever something I really thought was overly valuable to me. Maybe it's because of their prompts. They didn't quite resonate with me personally. So again, another reason why I like this bullet journaling, I'm trying some different things, trying to, I don't want to say track, but get down on paper, pen and paper, just out of my head, some of the things that I'm already thinking about, but just giving them more formality so that it's, I don't know, it's hard to, like, I kind of think of it as, you know, your yearly aspirations or whatever you want to call them, just trying to keep that present of mind throughout the year for myself. So yeah, and I've actually kind of cut down on the number of things that I'm doing in this monthly review. The last 2 months I've kind of cut back. I think this time I have it down from 8 different things now to 6. And yeah, for March I was realizing that I was duplicating basically 2 or 3 of them, so I didn't need to do all of them. So my list is getting shorter of what I'm reviewing every month, and that's totally fine. And then another thing that I've learned for myself throughout the last couple months is I really need to be filling this out during the month and not all at the very end of the month, because if I wait, me personally, I tend not to then do it because it's a bigger task and I just don't have time. I've been finding that I want to move on and, you know, prep and get the next monthly bullet journal setup done. And by then I've kind of forgotten through the last month what I had been thinking about, and, you know, it's already into the next month. So is this really relevant anymore? You know, all those things. So I've learned for myself that I do need to kind of fill this out throughout the month, and so that is another thing that I'm learning from this bullet journal. So as I was working on adding these stickers, I was finding that I was having a little bit of a challenge. I had put down that one before I had really done anything else, and it just seemed like it would work better on the right hand side of the page. And then when I pulled it up, it pulled up some of the paper behind it, so then I needed to use not a clear sticker but a white sticker, paper sticker, to cover that mistake. So anyway, my goal was, I had just kind of random stickers left over. As far as colors go, they didn't match like they had for all the rest of the spreads of the month. So I was trying to get a little bit of pink and a little bit of orange and yellow on both sides. And so then, yeah, and then again, trying to use up as many of these random stickers that were left on the sheets as I possibly could. And I'm proud of myself that I was able to really use up pretty much 3 or 4 sticker sheets out of this sticker book, which is a feat for me. I don't normally use that many stickers in general. So this was a very sticker heavy month, and in the end, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It took a little bit of adjusting here and there, but yeah, so and then, like with the weekly spreads, I'm going to add headers with my highlighter in the color that will match most closely to the stickers that are on that page for the different categories of things that I want to review at the end of the month. So yeah, I'm really happy with the whole month and how these turned out. I think I might do this again in this kind of way. Maybe next month. We'll see. Every month has been kind of an interesting, fun challenge for me. So, yep. And here you see that little weird spot just wasn't really enough to add one of my, I guess, boxes for what I wanted to talk about or write about. So again, I had to move a sticker around, but in the end, I'm happy with where I moved it to. I think it works better right there. And then that gave me some extra room for writing. But yeah, and then the other thing I did on this one is I tried to use 3 different colors of green. Since I had multiples, I thought it would be kind of fun to just play around with using the different shades of green on this one spread page. And I don't know what I'm doing right now, but trying to decide what I've done already and which one I used, and yeah, so... also, I have my little cheat sheet of what topics I want to write about off to the right, which you can't see, and I was looking at that to see what I had left and how many I needed to do. So, just going to use my, another mistake. Again, I talked about how I'm not good at hand lettering, and I tried to do that, and it did not work. So covering that up with another sticker, and I'll move that down just a little bit and use my regular handwriting instead. So, all right, guys. Well, that was my April bullet journal setup. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.